Silence. It's not emptiness. It's not weakness. It's power. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop filling the air with words, something shifts. Quiet tension builds. And in that quiet, the mind begins to wander, to question, to replay every moment, every glance, every word. Silence is not about ignoring, it's about commanding space. It's about showing that you are not desperate for validation, not begging for understanding. It's about letting mystery work for you. When you go silent, it disrupts the pattern. People expect reactions, explanations, constant connection. But when that connection suddenly feels interrupted, the imagination runs wild. What is she thinking? Why isn't she speaking? What does she know that I don't? That's the power of restraint. Silence makes your presence feel bigger because you're no longer just reacting, you're choosing when and how to respond. It's not about punishing, it's about protecting your energy, guarding your peace, and showing that your worth is not tied to constant accessibility. The more you speak, the more predictable you become. But when you stop, you force others to fill in the blanks, and they rarely fill them with calm, neutral thoughts. No, they fill them with curiosity, doubt, and a sudden realization of your value. The moment you stop handing out your attention freely, you become rare, and what's rare is irresistible. So the next time you feel the urge to explain, to defend, to prove yourself, don't let the silence do the talking. Let the absence echo louder than your presence ever could. Because in that stillness, you're not just being quiet, you're making them hear you without a single word. Silence. It's not just the absence of sound, it's the spark that can ignite a storm inside someone's heart. Imagine this, you're there close enough to feel the warmth but not saying a single word. Your eyes meet for a moment, then drift away, leaving a lingering question hanging in the air. That single pause, so small, so unassuming, sends a wave through their chest. They start to wonder, why isn't she speaking? What's going on in her mind? And that's when it begins. That's when the stillness turns electric. You see, in a world where everyone talks too much, silence becomes intoxicating. It's the stolen breath between sentences, the way your lips part as if you're about to say something, but don't. It's the gentle, unspoken pull that makes them lean closer, craving words you're not giving. And the more you withhold, the more they lean in, desperate to close that gap. Silence in intimacy isn't awkward, it's loaded. It's the kind of pause that makes the air feel heavier, as if every molecule around you has slowed down, watching, waiting. It's that slow burn that takes over when two people are in the same room and everything feels louder, except the voices. You're not ignoring, you're inviting without saying a single thing. You're letting them feel the space between you, letting them taste the tension, without rushing to satisfy it. And that's where the magic happens. Their mind starts racing, not because of what you've said, but because of what you haven't. They replay your last glance, the subtle curve of your mouth, the way your breathing changes ever so slightly. Every detail becomes a clue, and they want to solve you like a mystery. The more they think, the deeper they fall into that web of curiosity, and the more powerful your presence becomes. Silence is like the moment before a kiss where the world holds its breath. You're so close, yet just out of reach. They can feel the possibility hanging in the air, and it drives them mad in the sweetest way. You haven't touched them, but they feel touched. You haven't spoken, yet they've heard you louder than ever. It's that glance you hold for a heartbeat too long. It's the way you look away at just the right moment, making them chase your attention like it's the last drop of water in the desert. It's not a game, it's a dance. And with every second of silence, you're leading without moving, seducing without touching, pulling without pulling. Because in that hush, their heartbeats feel louder, their skin more sensitive, their thoughts more dangerous. They can't help but imagine what you might be thinking, feeling, or planning next. And the truth is, you've already told them everything they need to know without saying a single word. Mystery, it's the flavor that lingers long after the first taste. It's the shadow in the light, the question that never gets fully answered. In relationships, in intimacy, mystery isn't about hiding. It's about revealing just enough to keep the other person endlessly curious. It's the half smile that says more than an entire conversation. It's the glance that holds back 1,000 thoughts, leaving them desperate to know the rest. Imagine sitting across from someone who never gives it all away. You catch glimpses, soft hints of emotion, flashes of vulnerability, but never the full picture. That's when intrigue takes root. That's when the mind becomes obsessed with filling in the blanks. They start to watch your every move more closely, searching for patterns, decoding expressions, trying to read the story behind your eyes. And the more they search, the deeper they're drawn in. Mystery is not coldness, it's heat, carefully controlled. It's the art of not laying all your cards on the table. The more they feel like there's more to you, the more they want to explore. In intimacy, mystery works like gravity. You don't push, you pull. You don't announce, you invite. You let them feel like they're peeling back layers, one by one, never quite reaching the center, and that journey becomes addictive. It's the moment you laugh softly without explaining why. It's the story you almost tell but stop halfway, letting them wonder what the ending could be. It's the way you wear confidence like a second skin, making them feel that no matter how much time they spend with you, there's always a part they haven't yet touched. That hidden part becomes the most desirable. And the beauty of mystery is that it's timeless. Long after the initial spark fades for most people, mystery keeps the fire alive. It keeps them leaning in, asking questions, imagining what you might be like in your quiet moments when no one is watching. They want to know what makes you smile alone, what you dream about when you're staring out the window, what thoughts make your heartbeat quicken when you close your eyes. Mystery makes them feel like they don't own you completely, and that's what makes you priceless. Because nothing rare, nothing truly valuable is ever fully within reach. When you embody mystery, you create a rhythm they can't predict, a dance they can't memorize. They may touch you, they may kiss you, they may know parts of your soul, but they'll never feel like they've fully captured you. It's in the way you leave a conversation with something unsaid. It's in the way your touch lingers just long enough to awaken, but not long enough to satisfy. It's in the silence after laughter, the glance over your shoulder, the scent that stays behind when you walk away. The mind clings to the unknown because it can't control it, and that is where obsession is born. There's a certain power in not rushing, in holding back just long enough to make the other person ache for what's coming next. The delayed response, it's more than just waiting to speak. It's about letting anticipation build until it's almost unbearable. In relationships, in intimacy, timing is everything. Sometimes the pause between moments is far more intoxicating than the moment itself. Picture this, they ask you something, but instead of answering right away, you let the question linger in the air. Your eyes wander, your lips part slightly, and you take a slow breath before speaking. That delay doesn't go unnoticed. It makes them lean closer, their curiosity sparking, their mind racing to guess what you'll say. That gap between the question and the answer becomes its own kind of seduction. It's the same in physical closeness. Imagine a touch that doesn't happen immediately, but hovers just close enough for them to feel the heat of it. A brush of fingers that stops halfway, a kiss that pauses with only a breath between. That pause, that stillness, makes their body crave more. And when it finally happens, it feels 10 times stronger because they've been waiting for it. The beauty of a delayed response is that it creates a rhythm they can't control. You're not giving in to instant gratification. You're teaching them the beauty of longing. In a world where everyone replies instantly, where attention is thrown around carelessly, your restraint becomes magnetic. It says you're in control of your emotions, your actions, your energy, and that control is deeply attractive. It's in the way you let your gaze linger before you answer, the way your smile takes a second longer to appear, the way your hand rests still before finally moving. Every delay makes the moment heavier, richer, more memorable. They start hanging on to your every move because they can't predict when it's coming. You've turned time itself into part of the connection. Delaying your response isn't about playing games. It's about savoring the moment. It's about letting the tension rise naturally without rushing to dissolve it. That tension becomes a current running between you, invisible but undeniable. Every heartbeat feels louder. Every breath feels deeper. Every thought feels sharper. When you wait before you speak, you give your words more weight. When you wait before you touch, you make your touch unforgettable. When you wait before you kiss, you turn that kiss into a moment they'll replay in their mind over and over again. It's the moment their hand reaches for yours and you let it hover, letting the space between your skin throb with heat before closing it. It's the second you look at their lips but don't move closer yet. It's the pause before a whispered confession, the hesitation before saying their name. These moments are where intimacy blooms, where desire is born, and where they learn that with you, every second counts. Absence has a way of sharpening the senses in a way presence never can. When you're gone, even for a moment, every memory of you becomes more vivid, more intense, more alive. In relationships and intimacy, that little space you create isn't emptiness, it's a magnifying glass. It takes every glance you've given, every touch you've shared, and burns it into their mind until it feels bigger than life. Think about it. When you're constantly there, every word, every touch, every moment blends into the next. But when you step away, when your presence is no longer something they can take for granted, the mind begins to crave. Suddenly, the sound of your voice isn't just a sound, it's a melody they replay in their head. The warmth of your touch becomes a ghost they can still feel in their skin. Your scent lingers like a whisper, haunting their thoughts in the quiet moments when they least expect it. Absence turns the ordinary into the unforgettable. The smile you gave them before you left is no longer just a smile, it's a snapshot replayed again and again until it glows in their memory. That last conversation becomes a script they read over and over, wondering if they missed a hidden meaning. And the way you looked at them, that becomes the most dangerous memory of all because it keeps them hooked without you even being there. It's in the stillness after you've gone, when they're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, that they start to feel the weight of your absence. Every small detail becomes magnified. The way your laugh rises and falls. The way you tilt your head when you're listening. The way your fingertips trace patterns without thinking. They remember these things because there's nothing new to distract them, just the echo of what was. And in that echo, the longing grows. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder, it makes the senses sharper. Suddenly, they notice how empty a room feels without your energy, how quiet a day feels without your voice, how still a moment feels without the comfort of your presence beside them. This is where desire deepens, not in the constant touching or talking, but in the aching gap between. They begin to anticipate your return before it even happens. They think about what they'll say, how they'll look at you, how they'll hold you. The more they wait, the more intense the reunion becomes. Absence plants questions in their mind. What are they doing right now? Who are they with? Are they thinking about me? And every question feeds the craving. Every unanswered thought fuels the fire. You become not just a person in their life, but an experience their body, mind, and soul can't stop revisiting. And when that happens, your presence becomes more than just a comfort. It becomes a necessity. There's a rare kind of allure that doesn't come from chasing or demanding. It comes from letting someone feel pulled toward you without you even trying, control without control. In relationships and intimacy, this is the art of attraction at its highest level. You're not forcing them to come closer, you're simply existing in a way that makes closeness irresistible. It's not about power games. It's about presence, the way you carry yourself without seeking attention, yet still manage to hold every eye in the room. The way you move slow and intentional, as if every action has meaning. The way you listen, not rushing to respond, but letting silence wrap around your conversations like silk. They don't feel pushed, they feel drawn, and that difference changes everything. When you embody this kind of energy, there's a softness to it, yet it's magnetic. You're not clinging, you're not grasping, you're not chasing approval. You're rooted in your own confidence, and that confidence radiates. It makes them curious. It makes them lean in, wanting to feel more of that calm, steady pull. In intimacy, control without control can be felt in the subtlest ways. It's in the way you let a moment breathe, without rushing to fill it with words or touches. It's the quiet way you hold their gaze, steady, unshaken, until they're the one who looks away. It's the way you stand close enough to be felt, but not so close that you remove their choice to step in. You create a space that feels safe yet charged, comfortable yet alive with possibility. This kind of connection works because it doesn't trigger resistance. People resist force, but they surrender to allure. When someone feels they are moving toward you by their own will, their investment deepens. They feel like they're choosing you, yet you've been guiding that choice all along without saying a word. It's the difference between gripping someone's hand and letting your fingers barely touch, so they're the one who closes the gap. It's the difference between leaning in for a kiss and letting the silence stretch until they can't take it anymore. You're not holding them back, but you're not rushing them forward either. You're simply standing there being so captivating that the only place they want to be is closer. And the most intoxicating part, they won't be able to explain why. They'll just say they feel something when they're around you. A pull, a current. An energy that makes the rest of the world fade into the background. You become the calm in their storm, the mystery in their comfort, the thing they didn't know they were missing until they felt it. In that space, they're not with you because you demanded it. They're with you because every cell in their body decided it wanted to be. And that kind of connection is deeper, stronger, and far harder to walk away from. The mind is the most dangerous and most intimate place you can ever touch, and the truth is, imagination will always be a more powerful seducer than reality. In relationships and intimacy, letting the imagination do the seducing means you don't have to show everything. You don't have to explain every detail. You leave space, and in that space, they build entire worlds around you. It starts with the smallest things, the way you let your hand brush past theirs without holding it, the way your lips hover close enough for them to feel your breath but never quite meet theirs, the way you wear that subtle smile as if you know a secret they'll never fully uncover. Each tiny moment is an unfinished sentence, and their mind can't resist filling in the blanks. When you allow the imagination to run free, you make them an active participant in the attraction. They're not just watching you, they're co-creating a fantasy with you. They imagine what your touch might feel like, what your words might sound like in the dark, what your breath might feel like against their skin. You don't give them the whole picture, you give them just enough to make their own. And the picture they paint in their mind will always be more vivid, more personal, more intoxicating than anything you could hand them outright. This is why holding back is so powerful. It's the glance you give before looking away. It's the way your voice lowers, just enough for them to lean in. It's the conversation you end before the real question is answered. Every gap you leave becomes a playground for their thoughts. Every pause becomes a spark for their fantasies. And here's the thing, the imagination doesn't work in straight lines. It exaggerates, it intensifies, it creates versions of you that are bigger, deeper, and more irresistible than reality. They'll remember your perfume as sweeter, your touch as warmer, your presence as stronger than it ever was in the moment. Because in their mind, they can replay it over and over, each time adding more detail, more heat, more feeling. Letting the imagination seduce is also about trust. Trusting that you don't need to prove yourself in every moment. You can step back and let the mystery do the work. You can let them chase the what if instead of handing them the here it is. That chase keeps them invested, keeps them wondering, keeps them coming back for more. It's in the way you leave a room without saying goodbye, making them watch you go and wonder if you'll turn back. It's in the way you write a short message instead of a long one, making them think about every single word. It's in the way you touch their shoulder instead of their hand, making them imagine what it would feel like if you went further. And once their mind starts wandering, there's no stopping it. They're already lost somewhere between reality and fantasy, and that's exactly where you want them.